So welcome to this episode of The Rumble. My guest today is a lady from New York. Bit of a rarity, though these days it's not that much of a rarity. We still see New Yorkers now and then. But she's my guest and she actually knows all about herbs and spices. So welcome to the show, Uma.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming at really short notice. I know that you've been on this job for quite a while, doing various kinds of research, and now you brought a book out on Indian spices. So you were here for a particular purpose, or?
Well, I'm here. I came here to launch the book. Jaico Publishing has published.
Okay. And you said you've done this in the US also.
Right. I have the US edition, and it
also
was
by the same people.
No, not by Jaico. That is done by Create Space. It is an independent publishing.
Okay.
And the book is selling in Amazon.com.
Okay.
And it's doing well.
These days, to stand out, you have to say, by the way, my book does not sell on Amazon. Because every darn thing sells on Amazon.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
What the hell.
I mean,
Bookstores don't have books anymore. So they say, go ask Amazon. So but, in your place in New York where you lived, are there a large Indian community around you?
Oh, huge Indian community.
Okay, sorry for asking.
They're all over the place.
Can't escape
I
them.
think you cannot escape them. They're everywhere.
Okay.
Of course, I live in New Jersey, and New Jersey,
All
New
right.
York,
Okay.
we are neighbors.
Yes.
And there's a huge community. And
New Jersey, I know, but I thought maybe in New York couldn't be
New
having
York,
quite
oh
as
my
many.
God, yes.
They do.
They have a huge community.
Okay.
And they do all kinds of things, and I've been part of that too, so.
I know. So this book, do they know that you have published one?
Yes.
When I say they, I mean the people.
They
in
do.
your
They
community?
do.
They do.
And I've given a lot of programs, related to the book. And I do go to different events and I talk about the medicinal value of herbs and spices.
Okay.
So, it's going well.
Good.
Yeah.
Now this book, when you release it out there, you went through one of these publishers who can give you one copy at a time.
Right. This is the Create Space with who, you sign independently.
Okay.
And so when it sells on Amazon, when people buy the book, that's when it gets printed. So it's called print on demand.
Okay.
So
It's like video on demand. It's a
Video
book
on
on demand.
It's called book on demand. So for that reason, the price is also high. When they
Yes.
sell it in US, it is pretty high.
So
But
they don't have any stock. I mean, in other words, you
right. They don't need to. They don't-
even if you
yeah.
wanted, you have to give them notice.
No,
Say,
I don't
need
even have to
50
give
copies.
notice.
They'll just give it to you straight away.
Right, 50 copies they can give it just like that.
So the whole world is switched to print on demand.
Well, I wouldn't say so.
How about the book that you did in
No,
India?
no. This is not print on demand.
It's not.
This is regular publishing.
So you need
this what happens. The publisher, takes responsibility to supply to all the bookstores here.
Okay.
And he does the promotion. And so they did do the launches for me, and they're willing to do more launches. So the publisher is taking, all the responsibility to promote the book because it is,
So usually your job is over once you just hand it over to him, the script to the.
Oh, no, the job is not over.
I mean, of course, you'll wait till the final copy
Right,
comes.
I have to promote it too, right?
Oh, you do that?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So they are going to be planning quite a few events or, presentations and clubs.
So have you done anything in Chennai this time?
This was a short time. I just came here for the launch, but I'm coming back in a couple of months when, I'll be giving talks in some universities. I'm giving talks in clubs, and I'm giving talks in certain venues where, interested people will be showing up. So
This whole interest in Indian spices and herbs, do you see more of it in South India, or it doesn't make a difference in India? Wherever you go, it's still the most popular.
I think wherever you go, because as time changes and you see, I think what happens is when the Westerners show interest, then the Indians also jump in. They also start showing their interest.
But as a normal, as a walk of life,
Yeah.
in their normal walk of life, is it equally used in all parts of India? Or
Oh, it
tends to be-
is. It is equally used. North Indians have their own way of doing things. They have all these, this Chavanaprash, which is herbal concoction.
Widely sold.
It is widely sold, and it comes from North India.
Yes.
A sage named Chavan started, using many of these spices, and he created this. And so, the company that picked up, used his name and called it Chavanaprash.
Yeah.
So.
And now everybody uses his name.
Now everybody uses it.
Dabur has got it, this fellow's got it, that
Right,
fellow,
absolutely. They use
so it's
his
not
name.
copyrighted to him.
Right, it's not copyrighted, so he doesn't benefit, but others are benefiting.
Why not? That's the Indian way. At least that's what they say, it's the Indian way.
Exactly.
But tell me, every single thing that you have written in this book, you have personally investigated it, or how would I say?
Absolutely.
Because I see you have recipes too.
I have recipes too. So the way it goes is, the last 3 years I have been diligently doing the research.
Okay.
I have been going to the farms. I've gone to Ayurvedic farms. I interviewed Ayurvedic practitioners.
The formulators of this.
Oh yes, formulators. I've gone, even Siddha, I went to this Brahma Rishi Hills, and I found quite a few Siddhas who actually practice and do herbal medicines there.
Yeah.
But that is so unique. It's so powerful. The more research I did, I felt such great aura within me.
Okay.
I was so
But
thrilled.
the West mistrusts all these kind of medicinal forms.
They don't distrust, they do trust. That's the reason why.
Or they can't make money out of it, so they're not interested.
They're making big time money out of it now. You know how? Now let me just give an example of this turmeric. Okay, turmeric has an ingredient in it called curcumin.
Yes.
So using curcumin, they are making it a commodity that can be monetized. And how are they monetizing it? Very easy, all right? They make it into little pills, and now they put it in the market. And each pill that we might probably just, take it in the form of real turmeric, for no cost at all, they're charging like maybe $5 a pill. Just
okay,
think
folks,
about
that's her countrymen's specialty. The Americans are famous for this. They take knowledge from everywhere and then they sell it in the right way. So when we come back, we'll find that out. So how are you certain that these medicines actually deliver all the goodness that it is supposed to? I mean, in India, you say centuries of use. How about across the big ditch in the United States? Will they take it just like some Indians have said it's effective?
Let me tell you this. The Indians have been using this collectively for thousands of years, not centuries.
Okay.
Thousands of years. And as it has been, used by the Indians, we know the results.
Yeah.
The results are amazing. That's the reason why they use them. Okay. Whereas the Westerners, when they have learned, okay, this is working in India, it's working in other countries, so how are we going to monetize on this in this country, right?
Okay.
So they do the testing on mice. They say, all right, it's working. We've tested it on mice and it's working. So
did they go to other animals, or is that over? Mice and that's it?
Well, I'm just giving you the example of the mice.
You never know, because
I'm
mice,
sure they
chimps.
have. No, they may be doing it on rhesus monkeys. They may be doing it on, other animals.
But they test it on animals.
They test it on animals, not on humans. But we have tested it on humans for thousands of years.
Okay.
So we know it works. And so, but then, to me, it is really highway robbery or, actually
using our ancient knowledge.
Right.
Okay.
Our ancient knowledge is being hijacked by other countries, especially the United States.
The pharmaceutical industry.
The pharmaceutical industry. Let's
Wherever
put
they
it
come
right.
from.
Yeah, the pharmaceutical industry is hijacking this knowledge from the Indians.
But isn't that true of Indian pharmaceutical companies too?
Well, they have been here. Okay, it is not.
Okay, I mean, they can claim that my grandfather also used
right,
to
exactly.
Okay,
So it's okay.
Okay, so they have taken.
Like for me, personally, I know.
Makes you mad.
it makes me mad that, when I see such high prices in the market and someone, comes to me, one of my friends, a closest friend, comes to me and says, Uma, did you know this? What? You take this, it's so good for you. What is it?
It's a little root, they
Yeah,
call it manja.
What is it? Oh, it's
turmeric.
No, she wouldn't call it turmeric. Curcumin.
Curcumin,
I said,
yeah.
oh, curcumin. Oh, really? Let me see what it is. I said, oh, this. I've been using it for ages.
I use it on my face.
My parents have been using it. My grandparents have been using it. So that's nothing new. You knew about it?
And you didn't tell me. That's probably where she got mad.
So, that kind of
But
a
how
thing.
did they discover it?
So
I'm
you
curious.
have friends who are using it and who don't know that,
It came from here.
That it came from here. So you said, think about
But
it.
tell me, how did they come to know about it? I'm really curious. How did this kind of knowledge, which is not common knowledge, it's common knowledge here, but out there, how did they?
This has been common knowledge all the time. Let me tell you this. The British were here.
Yeah.
They knew so much about all the spices.
Yes.
They came and, took many of the spices and they traded spices. It went away to the
Yes.
other countries, to Europe,
Yes.
from Europe to America. So it has been traveling, right? So,
No, but as a medicine, did they ever use the medicine or as a taste, something that accentuates taste? Is what they use spices for?
mostly the spices were used as culinary,
Okay.
for culinary
Yeah.
uses.
Curry.
Curry and taste, it gives good taste, so it must be, really tasty, and
Yeah.
so to enhance the flavor and so forth. But they didn't know that it can also be
Yeah, the
medicine.
medicinal side.
So, food as medicine is a more modern concept. And
But it's been with us for many, many centuries, as we say.
with us, it has been always there. Like when I was growing up as a child, why did I eat at 10 in the morning my main meal? It was very common practice to eat your main meal in the morning.
Okay.
And not have breakfast and lunch. There was only one meal. And the lunchtime, it was a small snack that we used to pack up and take to school.
Okay.
So that's how it used to be. We used to eat.
But all that's gone, isn't it? Now
It's all gone.
We're all
It's
into
all
breakfast
gone.
and lunch.
Exactly. Except I still don't do that.
Okay.
I try my best.
You're
not
holding
to
out.
eat. I'm holding out. But in the United States, we wouldn't eat lunch as a main meal. We would eat early dinner as a main meal.
Okay.
So the breakfast would be very simple, and no lunch. But the children would pack up a lunch and take it to
Yes.
school.
Yes.
And then they would come home and everyone together we would eat an early meal.
So for an average American family, I'm talking about a white family, would they use any of the Indian spices in their food?
Oh, yes. They are learning. In general, they don't use many spices, but the Italians have spices, the Mexicans have spices.
In fact, we are taking up to their
And the
oregano
Indian-
and all that is big deal now. in
Right,
India.
so we do have oregano and
Yes.
sage and
Yeah.
all these spices that are available
What is
in
kale?
US.
I've heard about something.
That's a green
Yeah, it's a
leaf.
green.
It's like
Everybody, we
like
talk
spinach.
About kale. We don't even know what it is. Probably
Right.
just
Just
spinach.
like over here, we have all kinds of spinach over here.
And that's just one of
the
them.
amaranth spinach.
Yeah.
That variety
Yeah.
that we so
Popular.
is so popular, and we love to eat them because it has so much good value and taste
Is
and
that
everything.
what they call palak?
Is it?
probably
Palak is one of the amaranth family.
Okay.
Right. So in US, you have spinach, which is equivalent to palak, and kale, and other greens.
Yeah, they've got lettuce and they've got this, that. They have their own greens
right,
also.
Yeah, and they do eat a lot of fresh vegetables, especially salads.
Yes.
And in the salad, they have lots of greens. Even spinach and kale, they can eat raw.
Yeah.
So that is really good. Which
But
we
the-
have
but
to
the-
learn.
Yeah, we have not.
So we haven't learned that. The Indian people have not learned in India.
Correct.
Right? So they have to learn that is good to eat.
So you need to just bring together all
And they have to learn that some of these herbs
Spices.
and spices that are used in India are very valuable and they can use it in their
Tell
daily
me,
cooking.
so much being talked about turmeric. Why on earth do women put turmeric on their face? They make them taste better?
Well, no. It is really to have better skin, to have smooth skin, wrinkle-free skin,
look like
for
a ghost.
longevity, to look young forever. Everybody, wants youth. They want to stay young
I haven't
forever.
seen anybody living longer because he's got a yellow face. He's got turmeric on
Well,
the
how
face.
do you know? How do you know
I
they
mean,
haven't
whatever
done it?
records I've seen, they just look like
Well,
normal
yeah.
people.
they look like normal people, but you don't know whether they are going to survive and live a long life.
So we don't know whether they're using it for longevity or they're using it for better skin, as you say.
But most of these things are really good for longevity, and especially turmeric. It is one of a wonder herb, right? So it is good for longevity.
All right. Another important thing that I need to ask you is so many recipes. They're coming out of our ears now. You go on YouTube, there are like 50 versions to do every dish on earth. So you say you have done a lot of work on this. So we'll talk about some of your experiences while actually using these herbs rather than just us reading and wondering. So we'll do that when we come back. So just as much as Indian spices and herbs have been taking over the imagination of people in America, what about yoga and things like that? Are they also falling in?
Oh, yes. Yoga is very important. And in the Indian culture, yoga has been there for, again, thousands of years.
Yes.
And every movement and every action that is being done is part of yoga. And I'll give you one example, a simple example. When the children and adults go to the temple, they first go in front of Lord Ganesha and they start knocking
on the head.
On their head. That is a yoga. Why are they knocking on the head? To
scrambled brains are getting unscrambled?
No, to energize the brain cells.
Okay.
Because the brain cells, by giving it a little knock, starts energizing. Okay. And when it energizes, it can think clearly. So now when it is thinking clearly, your obstacles can be removed. Okay. So you're going to Ganesha to remove your obstacles.
Yeah,
that is the obstacle you're removing. So you have clarity of thinking. Okay. Likewise, they hold the earlobes and go squatting and getting up, right? Up and down. And
I read somewhere some effect of pulling the earlobe.
Oh, that has a tremendous effect on your brains, because it is pushing from the abdomen. Every time you're sitting and getting up, it's pushing everything from below. So your vertebrae straightens out, and the vertebrae which is connected to the head starts reacting. And how is it reacting? It's balancing your left lobe to the right lobe of your brain. And the balance is what creates memory. It helps get rid of Alzheimer's disease. Autism, it improves. Children who have autism get better.
They benefit from
They benefit from this. All you have to do is about 20 times or 30 times a day, and it benefits. And now, we do it without knowing the reason. And
so do you think it would be better if we had been told all these things, that this is specifically for this or that?
No, I guess, this is...
Our way is better.
I think our way was better in a way because, it is like...
part of your life.
You give it a spirituality aspect and people do it because, if it is really meant to be done, then people don't do it because, then I won't do it because after all, God is not going to help me, so why should I do it? Now you just go there, thinking of Lord Ganesha, the obstacle remover, who is going to help you remove your obstacles. But the real truth is you're removing it yourself. Okay. You see, that's the point. And the most important thing, an American doctor in California picked up on this, and he's teaching his patients who come in with autism or whatever, he's making them do this, and he has proved what, how it actually benefits.
Reason why this has been suggested.
Reason and how it benefits, autism or Alzheimer's.
So is this common knowledge?
Now it is common knowledge. There was a time when it wasn't common knowledge and people were saying,
"They're crazy Indian."
Yeah, right. Yeah, but we knew it, right? The ancients knew it. Why did they make them do it? Why was it part of an exercise? Because they knew it. The Siddhas knew it. The sages knew it. And they had made...
Yeah, but half the time they were in some Himalayan peak or some jungle.
That is right. But, through word of mouth, through certain practices, they had passed it on. And so we continued to do it. But we just didn't know the reason.
They say that much of India's, special knowledge that we have got has not been passed on properly to the next generation because we never wrote it down. They say in some cases the caste system is to blame. You don't want, certain trades, secrets to be known by people from another group. So a lot of knowledge actually was held back also. So there may have been some other reasons why it didn't get transferred. So we decided to just blindly follow. Forget about the why and the who and what. Just do it, as they say. Parents do that to their children. Do it. So maybe that's how.
Right. Yes, the parents, tell the children that, you just have to do it. Even in the schools, it was a punishment, right? You forgot to bring your homework, you didn't do your homework, you do that.
Yes.
You do your exercise. That is to remind them, next time you won't forget.
As a new angle to punishment.
Punishment,
from you.
exactly.
And even they say about temple prasadam, that there's something valuable in that also.
Yes. The prasadams are very specially made, especially, most of the prasadam that is given, after an abhishekam with all those fruits and nuts and everything, it's put together, it's so healthy, very nutritious. It's a good combination of nuts and fruits and fruit juices.
Yeah.
And honey
tiny
too.
Seeds and
tiny seeds and honey also.
True.
This combination energizes, it uplifts the body. It gives you the strength and stamina to rejuvenate.
So today, what will be given to you by a formula of some sort was given to us in this
given
manner.
in that manner. And then it evolved, and slowly now, people give maybe pongal or this and that, which is not as nutritious, only a certain amount of nutrition in it, but it still is a prasadam which is continued to the present time.
So your temples in New York and in those areas, do they also follow all these things?
Yes, they do. They do. They have, they offer. Many people bring the offerings. Some people are doing this garland of vada for.
Also for Ganesh?
No. For Hanuman.
Oh yes,
Okay.
yes.
So,
Vadamala
for Hanuman, for strength and courage, right?
Okay.
So that's what you do that. So once they have done garlanded the Hanuman with the Vadamala, that is later on taken out and given out as prasadam. And so they give it as prasadam. It has nutrition. It has lentils. It's made with lentils.
Yeah.
So it is full of protein. So, the people get the protein.
So it's quite amazing, Uma, this book, Healing with Herbs.
Yeah.
And it says ancient Ayurvedic wisdom.
Right.
So you compiled all that.
Exactly. Now, since you see healing with herbs, that means a multiple of herbs, right? Do you think we can combine herbs? When we combine herbs,
You'll get different effects, I guess.
we get different effects, right? Some people say, right, combining is not really necessary. It doesn't
just
do
take it
anything.
separately,
You take it separately. But combining has a reason.
I'm sure that's why curry is made that way and something is made this way.
Right, because there are either because of fragrances and
They
taste.
clash. Yeah.
Some will clash and some don't. Like for instance, garam masala is a combination of spices, but it has a delicious aroma.
Correct.
So it doesn't clash. But then the combination of herbs is heat producing and cooling herbs. It counteracts.
So there's
Therefore, it is good for
some
you.
system behind all this.
There is a system. And turmeric is always given with black pepper. Why? Black pepper contains piperine. And piperine helps absorb the turmeric.
Otherwise, that just lies in the stomach.
Right, exactly. Turmeric by itself is not as useful as along with piperine.
So thanks a lot for coming. It's been lovely talking to you. And I hope this book goes out and sells in the thousands. So thank you, Ma.
You're most welcome.
And do come again the next time you visit
All right,
Chennai.
thank you for inviting me and
You're
giving me
welcome.
this opportunity to talk about the herbs.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Right.